Okay, it is showtime. Woo!
Yay!
Raise the
Hi,
roof.
everybody.
Exactly. Hi, everybody.
Good morning. Good evening.
Good morning. I love it. Sure. Very, very
I'm so sorry.
Good morning, darling. Are you drinking tea? Is that what's happening?
I'm drinking tea.
Coffee.
Right.
Coffee.
I'm actually drinking broth.
Broth.
Oh,
Broth.
broth.
Aren't you impressed? Broth.
Broth.
Very.
Broth. It's lovely. I like it. My body likes it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are on here. I'm with the wonderful Kalpana and Alan. How do you say your name again? Besides
Alan works, but it should be pronounced Alin.
Alan. See, that's, it's like
an I. It's like an I sound between the L and the N.
Alan. Do you know, I've just started learning Italian, and when you think you're saying the word and they're like, no, this, and they're repeating it. You're like, yeah, this, and they're like, no, repeating it. And you're like, this.
Like in Friends, you remember when Phoebe was trying to teach Joey French? She's going, "Je m'appelle Claude," and he went, "Je bleu, bleu, bleu," and like, that's what I get when I tell people my name. It's Alan, and they go Alan. I'm like, Alan, Alan, like je bleu, bleu, bleu. But Alan works.
Je m'appelle Alan.
Yeah.
Except I'm not Alan. I'm Simone. Je m'appelle Simone. But anyway, enough French for today, huh?
Voila.
So and lovely Kalpana is, which you probably have a really fancy way of saying your name too, and I've just been calling you Kalpana for years on end. Make something up now.
No, actually, it's good. Kalpana is...
Kalpina? Kalpana.
I've had cappuccino. I've had people call me cappuccino.
What about when you're in trouble?
Sorry?
What about when you're in trouble?
Kalpo.
Oh, that's a good Aussie shortening of the name. Anyway, we're not here to talk about our names. What we're here to talk about is joy of business and business done different.
Yay!
Boom. I have the manual here on StreamYard. It's backwards. Yay. So I have a class coming up starting in about, I'm going to say 69 hours plus
2 days.
At minus a few. Yeah.
Well, we like 69. 69 is a good number.
That's what I thought. 69 hours, give or take a few.
69 is a good number.
That's when I'm starting, okay? We're doing a countdown.
After the 69, she'll begin.
Yeah, exactly. Starting now. So business done different. I mean, it's. I wrote a book called Joy Business many, many years ago, and it's translated into 13 languages now. And for me, business was always, something that it should be joyful, hence the name of the book, Joy of Business. And one of the classes that we do is Business Done Different. And it is not like any other business class. Don't expect to come and we can talk about budgets, we can talk about projections, we can talk about all of that, but with a big twist, done different. So the class is, you get this manual that is amazing. And I sat in my sauna today and I wrote down a few different topics that are not in the manual that I am going to put in the manual by talking about it. The myths and archetypes, genders and fictional realities that we have with business, and also the difference between commerce and business. So that's at least those topics that are going to show up as well. So we're going to be actualizing a lot more, creating a lot more, talking about a lot more stuff: money, business creation, actualization, all of it, and more.
And the manual is like, I'm still only about halfway through reading it because I had a sneak peek. And
I was going to say, are you cheating? No, I'm kidding.
I am cheating. And I have questions that I want to, I could sit here and do it now, but I'm like, no, I'll wait for the class because then it will contribute to other people choosing it too. But the manual is like nothing I've ever seen. Like really, I love access manuals. So for me, I'm just so looking forward to exploring some of the stuff that you've already written in there, and especially the fictionalized reality stuff and the difference between commerce. And also for me, like so often people get the difference between marketing and selling confused. But
how many people on there? I love it when people on their business cards they write sales and marketing. And it's why, because they have a judgment of sales and they want to appear, they've decided that marketing is better. It's like, I'm sorry, if you're in business, you're in sales.
Yeah.
Every single person that's in business is in sales. So what if you claim, own, and acknowledge that and embrace it and use it to your advantage? We've just got someone else that's popped on here, I think. So Rita, I think she might be one of the translators. So Aline.
Yes, Simone.
What's one of your questions? Like, let's go now. Let's ask me a question.
Oh, right. Okay. So
he's like, hang on. This is what went through his head. I don't have the manual and I'm wearing no pants.
Yeah.
How do we get up and get the manual with no pants on?
True story. However, I've done that before. So it was about the thing that really is still popping in my head is this in the manual it says you got to be willing to be lusted after.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real like, woo, like, especially for me from women, like, and I've kind of been playing with that and asking questions about it. My willingness to be lusted after by women is like that big.
So, okay, so we need to give a little bit of background. You've been married to a man for, I don't know, how many years?
26.
26 years, and love men, love playing with men's bodies.
Yeah.
Etc. So here's the thing. It's like, what if you decided being lusted from a woman would create for you? Like, what if you decided you have to do?
I would have to have sex with them. I would have to be controlled by them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything that is, and this is, we use the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement in all the classes as well. So everything that is, where you destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all names, thoughts, boys and beyonds. I'm just going to put in here too, because you can find out more about the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement at theclearingstatement.com. So let me just find that, because I know I've got a little short banner here as well. And the funny thing is, so down below, oh no, that's choice and change in action. That's I really should put my glasses on, shouldn't I? You can just go to theclearingstatement.com and find out more about the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. But the thing is, if you look at this question that Alan asked, and what comes up for him is, if he has the point of view that he has to have sex with anyone who's lusting after him, obviously you're willing to with men, right?
But it depends whether I find them attractive. But yeah, it's less. I don't even have words for what the energy is. Disgust. Like, it's this absolute. So with men, I don't get that disgust. With women, it's not like me finding women disgusting. It's this goes back to my mother, I think. But it's like, it's this. They would have to be my mother.
They would have to be a mother. Okay, so everything is that is. But you see how you can lump things together. So if Alan's lumping everything together, that they have to be his mother, they're going to control him, he has to have sex with them, everything that is times a gazillion when you destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all names, thoughts, boys and beyonds. I love this. You can so tell this is not set up, because if I'd said, hey, grab any question from the manual, and this is like, not that one on a live Facebook when we're talking about it. So yes, let's go there. But here's the thing. It's like, so many people don't receive from other people. And okay, so something that we talk about in Access Consciousness is you as an infinite being have the ability and the capacity to perceive, know, be, and receive everything. The lower harmonics of that is thoughts, feelings, emotions, and sex or no sex. Now, I won't go into all of them, but receiving, the lower harmonics of that one is sex or no sex. So most people go, what? About copulation. But it's not actually about copulation. It's about receiving. Because if you, even wherever you are right now, or, the next 24 hours when you walk around, if you look around a room or walk in and you have this, and it's not even cognitive, you go, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, of who you would actually copulate with, you've just gone receive, not receive, not receive, not. Now, it does not mean that you have to go out there and copulate with everyone. That's just a choice, not a necessity, okay? So, but if you're not willing to receive from people, then you are not actually willing to have them show up in your business, be clients, receive money from them, or any of that. So then you would literally cut off roughly approximately about 50% of the world that would be willing to pay you money to contribute to you and your business. So
yeah, it feels like rape. Lust to me.
But you'll allow men to lust after you. So what is that? What's that for you?
That's validation.
Oh, okay. So both of them will lock you up just as much as the other.
I know, right?
So everything that is, and here's the thing about access consciousness and the tools is that, you know, if we could work everything out with our logical mind, we'd have everything we ever desired. It's these insane points of view that lock us up. So if you have this insane point of view that you require or need validation from a man, and that you get that's the lust. And then when a woman, you know, lusts after you, and it's like, then that's like rape or that's disgust, etc. Then like, it's like, where are you in the computation and where's your choice? So everything that is, and everything that you're galumping together, because we tend to galump a whole lot of things together where you destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so so interesting, because it's quite a bit of a longer conversation, but what so much that we would do in Access 2 is start to break this apart, because the question I would be too is what do women mean to you? Like, what do females mean to you?
Be in control.
Okay, so in truth, no one can ever control you except for you unless you allow them to. Okay, so that's like the insane point of view. So everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
All right, and on good and bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And then the question would be is, what do you mean to women?
Bitch slave.
Bitch slave. And everything that is time to God's will, we destroy and uncreate it.
I really don't like. I was like, fuck off.
Okay, but see, anywhere that you have the resistance and reaction to something, that will control you.
Yeah.
Like, the key to absolutely everything here is interesting point of view. So it's like, interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And I know that like our relationship as well, that you have said to me earlier on that you weren't willing to receive from a woman. And then, I don't know, you wrote me this beautiful note one day, and something about like the kindness that I was, and that do a different energy with women. So it's like, would you be willing to, even just for now, start exploring that all women are not the same as all men are not the same?
I can't even hear that. It's like no conclusion there, right?
Yeah.
You're a woman, and therefore you must be.
That's like saying all kids are the same. All kids are asshole screamers or something. It's not true. It's like
that's true. That's
come on, Simone. Yeah. So,
I won't let go of that one. But the women thing, I'll not look at.
Yeah, okay, all right. So let's just start with the women and men. So everything that is, we destroy and uncreated.
Yes.
All right, and on good and bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. I think this is hilarious that I said to you, yes, let's do this, and this is the topic that came up. This is not usually, so just for the record, this is not something I would usually be doing on a Facebook Live, like with new people and etc. But Alan's just gone, yeah, let's go straight in there.
That's what I need. Like, I will have this.
Yeah, well, here's the thing too, though. One of the questions I would always ask is, what's right about this I'm not getting? Because anytime I talk about something that I go, oh, should I be talking about this? Someone pings me and goes, thank you so much. That gave me so much freedom. Yeah. And for me, it's like Access Consciousness tools are about creating more freedom for you in every area of your life. So how much, and here's one of the things that Gary Douglas has said for many years, who is the founder of Access Consciousness, is that most people would rather be right than be free and have the freedom of them. So is there anywhere in your reality that you function from the rightness of your point of view about women and men, rather than actually starting to explore what else is possible with this?
Yes. It's all about
everything that is time to Godzilla and we destroy and uncreate it.
Yeah. Some of it.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, I just removed Rita because I don't think she was on there. It was just a little phone thing or something. So Kalpana, you're just here for the show too now on the thing. So is there anything that you'd like to add or?
I'm just here for the show. I love
Boom, 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 boom,
that.
jazz hands.
Pam, pam. No, I'm really, so excited when you just spoke about the stuff that we've been talking about in the 7-day, the myth and the archetypes and stuff, and the new things you're adding. But more than anything, I find it freaking awesome to have this class right now when people are freaking out about a second lockdown or how long is the lockdown and the business done different. Like, holy shit, what a timing. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, I would like to look at, and I would really like to explore in this class too. It's like business beyond COVID. Because if we allow all of the lockdown, the governments, the rules, the regulations, everything going around, if we get frustrated and angry about that, and I'm not saying sit back and watch it at all. What I'm asking is, what can we be? And to me, the energy that we can be with this is to out-create it. And we can do that and we can be that. It doesn't have to be from fight and resistance. It can be from the choice to know that you are a potent motherfucker and we can change anything and everything if we choose. So I'm choosing, I'm in, I know you guys are as well. And what if the way we can be that around the world is through our businesses?
Yeah.
And as I always say, it's like, you wake up in the morning, you've got blood running through your veins, you're in business. So this is not just for, people who have a registered business, etc. If you wake up and you have an idea and you want to expand on that idea, let's go for it. It's like, if you have a successful business and you want to increase it, let's go for it. If you have a business that currently is not working for you, then let's find something different. Like, let's choose something different. That's the whole idea of this. Business done different. It's over 4 days, the class, and it's 4 hours every day. We'll have a couple of breaks, etc. Like, you get the manual. And as Alan's already showed us, there's a hell of a lot in this manual that we can go through. We'll go through stuff from everyone asking a question, and it creates, like, every single class is so different. It creates a different energy. And from the question that you ask, because every question you ask is brilliant. Like, you can already tell the question that Alan's asked is creating a different energy. And what I would like you guys all to look at, whether you come to business done different or not, is have a look at who and what you are willing to receive from and who or what you are not willing to receive from. And also the reasons and justifications why you've decided you cannot receive from them. Because it's every time you don't receive from someone, you create this compressed reality. Like, you put yourself into a box and go, okay, I'm over here, not talking to those people, not receiving from those, rather than if you're an infinite being and you just, even right now, it's like, let all of your barriers down, all of the places that you've created some sort of limitation, like a point of view that, and you know the points of view that you have that don't allow you to create something greater. And let all of those, barriers just, and if you go, how the fuck do I do that? You just do it. It's like, push your barriers down. What if you had no limitations? What could you choose? What could you actualize? Like, and as an example with what he's asked as well, it's like, if Alan's willing to receive from everybody, like everybody, literally body in the world, then how much more money would you make?
Yeah, a lot more.
I mean, here's one of the things, Alan. I love your social media. You're one of the people, when you put something, actually both of you, when you put something on social, I actually go look at it and watch it, etc. And the invitation that you are to women and the way you talk about you and your body is such an inspiration and is incredible. And I just realized. So how much admiration have you been willing to receive from the social media you put out there with you and your body? What percentage? Like 5% or less?
Probably about 2 to 3.
Yeah. What if you just look at the energy of that? So right now, everything you're receiving and everything that's showing up in your life, and you're receiving 2 or 3% because you've already decided you're going to disregard, a whole lot of women who are lusting after you, right? So 2-3%. And have a look at where your life is now. Okay? And everything that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, just indulge with me for a second. Now receive 50%. How much more ease do you have showing up in your life? How much more money do you have showing up in your life?
Yeah.
Now, just for the sheer fun of it, because we're not going to go to 100%, okay? Because I wouldn't dare do that to you.
Fuck you.
What if it was 80%? Let's just go 80.
That would be just too much.
Yeah. Carpenter could do 100%, but Alan's like, really, fuck you. So
No,
everything.
I was expecting you to go, let's go to 69%, because that would have been really funny. But anyway.
We'll go back to 69. So everything at that is times a gazillion, right? Good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But everyone out there listening too, or watching this later, it's look at the energy of that. It's like, what have you decided you cannot receive from? Like there's a story about Gary Douglas doing this session with a man many years ago in Houston, Texas, and he owned a men's clothing shop. And Gary went and spoke to him and, was looking at the business and what questions you could ask, because there's so many questions that we'll go through, possibilities, and the contribution that everything outside of what you've decided you must control can contribute to your business. And he started talking about not wanting to receive basically from gay men. And he's like, oh, those people. And Gary went, you do realize you're a men's clothing shop in the gay section of town, right? And he was like, yes, but I don't want to receive because they flirt with me. And Gary went, so do women flirt with you? And he went, yes. And he's a married man. And he said, so do you go home and have sex with the women? And he was like, no, I'm married. And he went, so why would you not allow the men to flirt with you? And he was like, oh. So he was disdaining them as they walked in because he had decided that if they flirted, he had to go have sex. Sound familiar? Whereas the women he was willing to flirt with, even though he had a wife and wasn't intending to going home and having sex with these ladies, but he was willing to flirt. So, and that's a really, like, even just that piece of information with your business, who are you willing to flirt with? And who have you decided you cannot flirt with? And everything at that is times a godzillion where you destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So I'm going to put up the, here's the URL as well. You can go to that, SimoneMillisers.com/BDD, which stands for what? Business Done Different. And you can go, it starts in 69 hours, give or take. It's actually less than 69 hours now, but we like that. We like that round.
69, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you can go check it out there.
We like that number.
We like that number. And you do not need any prerequisites for this. And I've had people say to me, oh, I can't come to one of your classes because I don't have the prerequisites. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, I don't have a joy in business. I'm like, you don't need to have a joy in business. Hopefully after the time we're finished, you may actually wake up and realize that, yeah, there are some things that are fun for you, and you can generate something different and create money and maybe change the world as well all at the same time. Triple whammy.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well, because for me, it's like one of the things I love about the joy business, the business done different, is it's like if my whole life is kind of, if I look at my whole life as the business of living in a sense, but not as a distraction, it's like there are so many tools in that kind of in the handbook and what you talk about that will contribute. Like even if you don't have a business or don't want a business, do you know what I mean? If you have a job and you love your job and you love working for someone else, it's like this class could still contribute. Is that?
Yes, absolutely. It's like I mean, I've done a lot of private sessions and a lot of different classes with so many different people. And if you're working, I mean, a lot of people, one of their main questions is, how do I handle my boss that's controlling or micromanaging? And it's like, okay, there's tools for that. If you're a one-man show and, you'd like to actually hire staff, and there is so many people out there who are they've decided that they are fearful of hiring staff. And it's not a fear, it's just that you cannot control it. But guess what? You can't control anything anyway. Your life is not predictable. It's never been predictable, including your business. So yes, this is, we've got CEOs, we've got, people who own a business, family businesses, people, like I said, who just, I mean, I'm a real ideas in the shower person. Like, if you know me, it's this big joke. Because I come out of the shower and I go, just had an idea. To the point that Rebecca Holst, who we know, once gave me this pad that you can write on in the shower. So I could write notes. I do it? Come on, I go, I'm just in the shower and I come up with this idea. Are you one of those people who goes for a walk on the beach, a walk in the woods, or has a shower, and comes up with ideas? And how many of you have been judged or projected at you that you are wrong because you are not instituting those ideas? You're not. You're just an incredibly creative person. So then what I would like to contribute to you is that you now have the understanding that there's these different energies that are required in business. And we will go through this, and I'm just going to mention them briefly. There's the creator. That is the person who has a zillion ideas a day, and you've maybe been told that you're a dreamer at school, or you can't make up your mind because today you have 20 ideas, tomorrow you have 100, the next day 1,000, the next day 10, and it's just like, and don't cut that off. It's not a wrongness. It's actually a capacity you have. It's a strongness. So you've got the creator, then you've got the connector, and the connector is that person who just talks to friggin' anyone. Okay, anyone. And then you've got the mover, and the mover is the person who has the ability to perceive what you need to choose today in order to allow something to show up in the future. Okay, and then you've got the foundational person, which is good at all three. And that foundational person sort of has that aerial view and can sort of look out and be like, okay, what do we need at the moment? We need to connect the business. We need this, we need this. We need maybe some institution or some creative capacity here. So, and can I tell you, and we'll go through this more in depth, but what I'd like to say is, as I talk about creator, connector, mover, the one that you've decided is the least important is usually the one that you are great at, because you usually judge that what you are great at is useless and anyone can do it. Not true. The one out of creator, connector, mover that you've decided is the most brilliant is the one that you are not so great about, and you will continuously try and be that because you've judged that if you don't choose that and you are not great at that you are less than. Not true. Okay. What if we all claimed, owned, acknowledged our capacities and we chose those, and then I'm going to use the big R word again. We were willing to receive from others in our business. I mean, a great question. Who or what else do I have to add to my business today? What would it take for the business to be greater today than it was yesterday? It's like, let's have way too much fun.
I remember, Simone, my first class with you, and I literally saw people like light bulbs, like lighting up because they could suddenly they're like, oh, I know this, or I'm good at this, or I love this. Like for me, it was like I didn't even realize how much joy in business I had till I did my class with you. And I literally remember all these people like getting enthusiastic and excited about what they had never seen about themselves, which is a humongous gift. So
you have a really successful dance company, correct?
Yes.
Like very successful.
I didn't have it when I did my first class, and then you said, what if you change the scene? And you kind of dared me, and now I have a dance company.
Nice. I remember you at that first class and talking about what you perceived, correct me if I'm wrong, like this dream that may or may not be possible, but not where it is today.
Yep.
And it's like you have just absolutely blossomed by using the tools of Access Consciousness. So, I mean, there's so many classes with Access Consciousness tools, but this one is primarily about business and money. And as you can see from the discussion we had before, we go deep and dirty into anywhere that you desire.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go. Leave nothing unturned.
Yeah.
And it is on Zoom. So as we say, pants are optional.
Just don't stand up.
Well, you can stand up if you want. And you get a manual that once you pay is sent to you as well. And we've got a Telegram thread, I think, that you get added to so that we can, converse with you, etc. And it's going to be lots of fun. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite classes to facilitate.
And for the Europeans, it's great because it's a morning session. You get your dose of Simone, and then off you go. So I think it's brilliant. It's really brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, the timing of this class is just perfect. 7 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock for me. And
it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yep, wonderful.
Yay!
So, anything else you guys want to add?
Thank you for your time, Simone, and sharing your brilliance.
You're welcome. And Alan, I know that we will get more into that topic that you were talking about in class, and I will do and be anything I can for you. I will.
It's like,
We've got this.
Receive.
We got this. Okay.
Thank you, Simone.
Well, that's
You're
another
so
thing,
welcome.
Simone. You are so present and generous in your facilitation. You're so, wow, what a gift.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I love seeing, as you say, Carpenter, those light bulbs go on in people's worlds when they realize. I mean, one of the first Access classes I ever went to, literally, was 4 days long with Gary Douglas in Australia. And I sat there. I had no idea what he was talking about, but I walked out and I wrote down one thing in my manual: I am not as fucked up as I think I am. And I went, okay, I can work with that. I'm not as fucked up as I think I am. And that's the thing. We're not. We're so much more brilliant than we've been willing to acknowledge. So let's open up that brilliance and let's go.
Yay.
We've got a world to change.
There you
And we can
go.
have fun doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, now is the time.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Now is the time more than ever. So let's do it. So Business Done Different, ladies and gentlemen, you've got the link down below. I would love to see you. These guys would love to see you on there, and let's do this.
Cool.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on. And